Hello, my friend, and welcome to Something for Everybody. My name is Aaron Machbitz, and today is a solo episode of the podcast where I'm discussing the promises you make to yourself. So let's jump right in. John Wooden was a legendary UCLA men's basketball coach who led his team to 10 national championships over a 12-year period. Wow. He is most well known for his life wisdom that extended way beyond the basketball court. And keeping the promises you make to yourself is the highest order purpose in life. Every single time you keep that promise, you are stacking evidence in favor of the type of person that you want to become. You want to build that confidence meaning intense trust in oneself. Well, do what you say you're going to do and keep those promises you make to yourself. And slowly you stack up. Now you have credible evidence that you are the person you say you are, and now your confidence can be extended and grown, or your trust in yourself is now growing, and now you become anti-fragile, and so on and so forth. So this episode really explores John Wooden's 9 promises for a well-lived life. Again, John Wooden was a legendary coach for the UCLA Bruins men's basketball team from 1948 to 1975. At one point during that period, Wooden, again, led his team to 10 historic national championships over a 12-year span. Think of another coach or another team or another organization who's done that well over a 12-year period. So John Wooden was probably doing something right. And if you haven't heard the John Wooden socks story or shoes story, I encourage you to go look that up once you're through with this episode. But perhaps most interestingly, Wooden's legacy has far more to do with the principles for life than anything about basketball. And that's why I'm so interested in John Wooden, because that's what I try to do with the young men that I coach. Yes, baseball is the vehicle that I'm trying to use to teach life skills, mental skills, the approach to life, resiliency, all of these things. And so that's why I treasure John Wooden's wisdom. And simply put, he is a treasure trove of wisdom. And that's why so many high-level coaches study the work he does. And it can be applied to sort of any area of life inside and outside of sport. So John Wooden believed that the promises you make to yourself must represent ironclad contracts, things that you follow through on, deliver on, and live out on a daily basis. His words line up with his actions, which is a cornerstone of any leader or coach. These 9 promises create the foundation for happiness and success, at least according to John Wooden. So I would listen to these 9 promises, and then I would write some of them down, and then I would alter and tweak them to best fit your life and the happiness and the joy and the fulfillment that you're trying to have. So number 1, I promise to talk about health, happiness, and prosperity as often as possible. Your thoughts and language shape your reality. Choose them wisely. Let's talk about the things that we want. I want health and happiness and prosperity. So I'm going to talk about it. If I talk about it enough, I'm going to be about it. If I be about it enough, then boom, there it is. But there's also a thing that goes with this, which is about doing the thing. You have to do the thing. So I can talk about these things all of the time, but the cornerstone of these promises is that I'm keeping the promises I make to myself. So if I talk about health, happiness, and prosperity, that means I'm actually doing things that will increase my health, happiness, and prosperity. So ultimately, yes, we want our thoughts and language to shape our reality, but our thoughts and our language shape our actions shape our habits, and our habits shape our reality or our future or whatever domain we're living in. So you want to choose them wisely. It's extremely, extremely important. Number 2, I promise to make all my friends know there is something in them that is special and that I value. Unexpressed love is love you feel that you haven't expressed to those you feel it. One of my fears is dying with too much of it. When you think something nice about someone, tell them. It's a shame that we wait until a person's funeral to say all the nice things we thought about them. Let's change that. Give people their flowers right now. Every single day. Reach out to one person and tell them something you love, appreciate, or respect about them. Ever since I lost my sister Rachel, this has been very, very important to my life. Because when you go through something like that, when you lose someone, you realize the fragility and the preciousness of life, and that you don't want any of those unexpressed feelings. I tell my friends all the time how much I love them and care about them. My fiance, my parents, how I feel like I'm the luckiest person in the world with all of this love that surrounds me. Tell people, reach out to them, text them, call them, video chat. People cannot read your mind. They don't know how they're feeling. And you might assume they get all these nice messages all the time, or so many people tell them that they love them. No, it's not the case. People assume other people are doing it. Well, we can be the standard bearer. We can be the person that leads that charge and says, I'm going to reach out and I'm going to express my love and my admiration and my appreciation for the people that are in my life, that are doing great things in my life. I'm going to be happy for their success. I'm going to be joyous for their success. And I'm going to reach out to them every single day, or as often as I can, to express that love. Because the last time you see them could be the last time you see them. That's just the reality of life. And so might as well leave nothing on the table. No unexpressed love left on the table. Say it, feel it, do it, be about it. Number 3, I promise to think only the best, to work for only the best, and to expect only the best in myself and others. This is a promise you want to try and make yourself. Clearly, we're not going to be perfect. Perfection is never going to happen. Even John Wooden's teams weren't perfect, right? 10 out of 12. But the standard, I don't like the word expect. I like the standard that I'm trying to live by is to do the best I absolutely can. The mantra that goes with this for me is full effort equals full victory. I know that if I gave 100% of my effort on the thing that I was doing, on what's most important now, then I know that I kept that promise to myself because I gave my best effort. Some things aren't going to go my way. For example, my team that I coach, we played a ton of great baseball games. Some of them just didn't go our way. That just is what it is. That's life. That's why sports mirror life, because you learn how to handle those setbacks and obstacles. So you only focus on the things that are inside of your control, which is doing my best work on a consistent basis and trying my hardest, and then letting everything else go from there. There is scientific evidence that prove that expectations can create reality. The Pygmalion effect is a behavioral phenomenon in which the level of expectations placed on a subject impact their level of performance. High expectations, or in my word, high standards, leads to high performance. Low standards or low expectations leads to low performance. Those who have high expectations or high standards are more likely to internalize these expectations and improve their performance accordingly. Those who have low expectations are more likely to internalize those expectations and weaken their performance accordingly. This is the Pygmalion effect. Establish excellence as your standard, and you will build that reality. You have to know what bar you're trying to set for yourself. If the bar is always so low, then you're never going to reach your full potential. Now, there's also this Jordan Peterson idea that says when we're getting started on something, we have to get the bar extremely low just to get over that first step, because getting to the starting line and taking that first step is always the hardest part. But once we've done that, once we've established that bottom line, now we move up from there, and then we establish excellence, or we establish the standard that we're trying to create, and then we move through those actions to build that reality. Number 4, I promise to be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as I am about my own. Want to get ahead in life? Genuinely want to get ahead in life? Start genuinely rooting for others to succeed. Adopt a positive sum mentality. When one of us wins, we all win. This will make you a magnet for the highest quality people. And relatedly, be diligent in removing people from your life who don't cheer for your victories. Okay, Leonardo DiCaprio said this: pay close attention to people who don't clap when you win. You want to cheer for others' success. We know that the pie is big enough for all of us to eat and for everyone to get a nice big old slice. And so why not surround ourselves, why not surround ourselves where everyone's encouraging others, everyone's appreciating others. We're like pumping up our effort. We're praising effort over outcomes. And when we do get the outcome or the result that we wanted, we're fired up for everybody. Yeah, oh yeah, nice job. I'm pumped. I'm fired up. I'm so pumped when my friends or my fiance or my parents do something great. I want to be juiced for them because that creates just this karmic energy. It's a positive sum mentality. It's just a beautiful thing. And those people around me that cheer me on when I have a great podcast episode, or when we move up in the rankings, or we have a great month, or I sign a new client, or I book a speaking deal, or whatever, they're fired up for me. That's awesome. We need that energy around us because sometimes things get bleak. Sometimes things get dark, and you need those people who really clap for you when you win, but also are there to pick you up when you're down. That's a huge part of being a real, genuine friendship. There's multiple domains in life where we need people to pick us up when we're down, to cheer for us when we succeed, to hold us accountable when we're not doing the shit we said we were going to do. Those are sort of the three aspects of a great friendship, and you got to have all of them to have a lifelong partnership with anyone, whether that be romantic or just a friendship. And both are extremely important for the overall wellness of your life. And so pay close attention to those people in your life. Pay close attention, because you got to start genuinely rooting for others to succeed, and you have to have those same people in your life as well. Number 5. I promise to be strong, that nothing can disturb my peace of mind. There's a beautiful quote that I love. Don't waste your time chasing butterflies. Mend your garden and the butterflies will come. That's Mario Quintana. Something I've come to believe. The things you want most in life will come to you, but only when you're ready for them. Mend your internal garden and the butterflies will come. This is about taking care of our inner life, taking care of our mental health, our mindset, so that we can have peace of mind. We can handle obstacles. We can overcome setbacks. And we have to build the appropriate mental fitness toolkit to be able to handle these things. So we have to mend our own garden. You have to mend your internal garden, and the beautiful butterflies will come, because then the things that are supposed to come to you, you'll be actually ready to receive them because you've done the prerequisite work to allow yourself to handle all the pivots and adjustments that you've made to get to the spot where you're getting the thing that you deserve through the effort, through the work, through the focus, through the persistence, through all of these things. And so I promise to be so strong that nothing can disturb my peace of mind. Let's try and live up to that promise. Build the prerequisite skills that you're calm under pressure, that you understand how to respond to setbacks and challenges, and that you can have this beautiful peace of mind through the turbulence of life because you've built the appropriate mental skills and you've tended to your internal garden. That's a beautiful one. Number 6, I promise to forget the mistakes of the past and press on to greater achievements in the future. We tend to romanticize the road not taken, the decisions we could have made differently, paths we could have walked, people we could have treated differently. Ultimately, though, we know, right? Dwelling on the past is a recipe for unhappiness, stagnation, resentment, all sorts of things like that. If you spend so much time focusing on what ifs behind you, you'll lose sight of the immense density of opportunity before you. So, yes, we're going to make mistakes, but a cornerstone of a great life is actually trying. So the what ifs are going to hurt way more if you didn't even go out and go for it. There's going to be regret. There's going to be resentment. So you might as well go out there, go all in, step into the arena, and at least try. Yes, you're going to fall down. Yes, you're not going to get everything you want. Yes, you're going to get cut from the team or not get the job, or you're going to fall short of the mark. Of course, that's going to happen. But at least you know that full effort equals full victory. You went all in, you tried your best, and now we have something to learn from. We have something to grow from, instead of romanticizing about the road not taken, or what if I did this, or what if I did that. You can't change the past, right? There's a saying in AA that says, if you have one foot in the past and one foot in the future, you are peeing on the present moment. We don't want to pee on the present moment. All great things are expressed in the present moment. And we have to think about the acronym WIN, or what's important now. So what's the most important thing right now in front of me? This moment, this moment, this moment, this moment, this moment. And how can we stitch being present for as many moments in a row as possible, and not spend so much time thinking about what happened behind us, what might happen in front of us, but what's unfolding right now in this present moment. This is where the greatness lies. This is what's important. And this is where I can go all in. Full effort equals full victory. Number 7, I promise to wear a cheerful appearance at all times and give every person I meet a smile. When you open up to the world will open up to you. Be interested in everyone you encounter. Be curious. Every conversation with a stranger is a chance to learn something new. Stop trying to be interesting and focus on being interested, right? Stop trying to be interesting and focus on being interested. Be curious. Like Dr. Jordan Peterson says, every person knows something that you don't know, and every person can teach you something. Lead with that curiosity. That's why I started a podcast. Maybe that's why you can start a podcast, to explore that creativity, to explore those interests, to learn these conversation skills, to understand how important and powerful listening is. All of these things can be learned through doing these types of conversations. And so you want to be present in every conversation with every person that you meet, because it could be a life-changing conversation. You never know what you might learn. There are no strangers here, only friends you haven't met yet. That's from William Butler Yeats. I think that's a really good idea. We need to be more curious, especially in today's society. So John Wooden's spot on with being curious, with being interested. I mean, that's also how a coach or a leader or a parent gets someone to really buy into what they're doing. They express care and interest and curiosity about their player or their colleague. And so there's common ground and they feel like they're valued and cared for. Then when we give direction or insight or advice or ask for something, they're more willing to do that. Now, that's not manipulative. That's leading from the heart. That's leading from a sense of I'm interested and want to try and understand you, a real interested place of curiosity. Like, where are you from? How did you grow up? How did you become this person that I see in front of me with intrinsic value and dignity? I want to learn about that so we can get along. I can show that I care and love and support you. So when we're in the trenches together, boom, we're right there, baby, getting it done. So that's awesome. Number 8, I promise to give so much time to improving myself that I have no time to criticize others. Your entire life will change the moment you stop worrying about what others are doing and start focusing on what you're doing. The time you spend comparing yourself to others is much better spent investing in yourself. The only comparison worth making is to you from yesterday. There is no better investment you can ever make than investing in yourself, whether that's learning something new, whether that's a class, whether that's going to the gym, whether that's your health, whether that's any sort of skill that you can acquire. Investing in you will always have the best ROI. So instead of worrying about what John, Jill, and Jack are doing from Instagram, let's focus on being the best at getting better, because that's something in full control that we have. We're not trying to be the best at something or win this award or get this many likes or followers. We're just trying to be constantly improving and trying to be the best at getting better, because now we're focused on the process. We're focused on loving doing the thing. I do the podcast because I love doing the podcast. Not many people just want to talk directly into a camera for 25 straight minutes and stumble over their words and put it out on a public platform where people can critique and criticize and say that I'm an idiot or whatever the case may be. But I'm willing to go through that to try and improve at this craft, so that when I'm at episode 1,000 of this podcast, or I'm speaking in front of 500 people on a world tour, or I'm going into a business to talk about the things that I care about, I'm better equipped because I've constantly improved on my speaking, on my communication, on my ideas, on what I want to pass across. That's why you do the thing, because you can only get better at the thing by doing the thing. And so there's no reason to compare. I compare myself to 20 episodes ago, and I'll compare myself to 20 episodes in the future to actually see if I've gotten better, if there's improvement there. That's the athlete brain in me, and I love that part of me. But I look at other podcasters as influence, as inspiration, but I'm not comparing my journey to them. It's totally different. This podcast started off as a weird professional wrestling joke. Then it was under my professional wrestling name. And now it's under me, Aaron Machbitz, as something for everybody, and a very serious podcast that I take very seriously about sharing these insights about mental health or personal development or social news or whatever the case may be. And I'm proud of how far we've come to get into the top 1%, of all podcasts. And I'm going to keep moving in the right direction, just as long as I can have great conversations, learn new things, and share them with anyone that watches or listens. So that's why, one of my number one things is to be the best at getting better. And I try to apply that in every domain that I'm in. And so I encourage you to do the same. Number 9, last one. I promise to be too large for worry, too noble for angry, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit trouble to press on me. Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. That's from Viktor Frankl, right? Amazing book, Man's Search for Meaning, where he talked about the space between the stimulus and the response. How can you channel and control that space so that you have control over your response? Right? Listen to this quote again. Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. Even circumstances like the Holocaust, you can choose your attitude. You can choose your response because it's under your control. So own your attitude. None of these promises are easy, but our power exists in our ability to choose our own attitude, to choose our own way, to choose our own response. When we embrace that power, nothing can touch us. So think about these 9 promises. Tweak them, torque them, move them around, adjust them how they fit and you see fit for it fits your life. But know that none of these promises are easy. But our power exists again in our ability to choose our attitude, to choose our own way, to choose our response. When we embrace that power, nothing can touch us. Keeping the promises you make to yourself is the highest order purpose in life. Do what you say you're going to do. Every single time you keep that promise, you are stacking evidence in favor of the type of person that you want to become. Wow, very powerful. No matter where you are in life, if you can make a promise to yourself, then you can keep it. No matter where you are in life, if you can make a promise to yourself, then you can keep it. You are a winner. So, what would be on your list? Again, what promises do you want to make to yourself? You can use John Wooden's list, again, as a spark, but create your own. Write them out and look at them at the start of every day. If you can keep your promises to yourself, you can achieve anything. And thank you very much for tuning into this episode. Please, if you enjoyed it, share it with a friend, give us a like, subscribe, whatever it is. But most importantly, the best way to support this podcast is by sharing it with a friend. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time. Lots of love. Cheers. Thank you very much for tuning into that episode. And if you enjoyed it, click right here for another full-length episode of the podcast. And please don't forget to subscribe. But most importantly, above all else, please take good care of yourselves and others. And I'll see you next time. Lots of love. Cheers.